Hello and welcome. Today we're joined by Terrence Mosley. He is the Senior Advisor for Diversity and STEM in the Department of Energy's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. How are you today?
Doing well, Angela. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the U.S. Department of Energy recently announced the Historically Black Colleges and University Clean Energy Education Prize. Can you explain to us first what is considered clean energy and then tell us about the competition?
Oh, absolutely. When you really break it down, clean energy is just generated energy that does not release emissions. Therefore, the term clean. It basically what we're trying to do is to encourage the generation of energy that decarbonizes the power grid or removes carbon CO2 emissions and greenhouse gases that you may have heard about that are damaging to the climate and to our earth. And so that's basically what clean energy is about, though. And it can come from all kinds of sources, whether it's renewable power that comes from the sun, from solar energy, whether it's hydropower that comes from water, geothermal that comes from the earth, or wind power that might come from wind turbines. And that's in essence clean energy.
Right. And we all need to know about those for everything that's been going on with climate change, and we can really try to make a difference at least. And
Absolutely.
now, can
Yeah.
you tell us about the competition?
Absolutely. Basically, what it is, it's $7.75 million in cash prizes that we are allocating for HBCUs to be eligible for, to basically create their own green energy and clean energy ecosystem. And when I say that, there are two tracks in our prize, and the first track really encourages the early exposure to K through 12 communities to what clean energy is, different types of clean energy, and try to influence them in looking at future careers in clean energy. And so our first track, which just opened last week, it is eligible for HBCUs to turn in proposals that propose clean energy summer camps or some kind of summer bridge activity or any interaction with K through 12 audiences that will expose them to the concepts and technologies that clean energy is involved with, for that early exposure. And we're going to provide up to 20 winners across, hopefully all across the country, with the opportunity to host clean energy camps that are sponsored by DOE. And so that's the first part. That's the first part of the equation, is inspiring younger kids to be aware and to be exposed to clean energy concepts. But after that, we have a second track that will be open in the fall. After our first track is finished and we announce the winners there, our second track will be the partnerships track. And during this partnerships track, what we're hoping to do is to encourage HBCUs to pull together. Once again, the word ecosystem comes in, because what we want them to do is to pull together various academic as well as industry partners that will be able to enhance their current programming at their particular HBCU, to expand programming and enhance it with potential clean energy, whether it's courses, certificate programs, whatever they want to develop. We want them to be as creative as possible. And we also want them to be able to work with partner universities, whether they be HBCUs or other majority institutions that may already have more coursework and more curriculum dealing in the clean energy space. So if you would picture it, that maybe you have an HBCU, instead of having to establish a brand new degree program, which can be very expensive, and you have to go through various forms of approval from State Department of Education and what have you, for public schools. Instead of trying to do that, maybe you can partner with schools that already have established curriculum, and maybe you can add online curriculum that would enhance your curriculum at your particular HBCU. And you can also partner with industry groups to be able to have kids that have this enhanced education now to be ready to go to work in the clean energy industry. So when I say it gives the chance for HBCUs to develop their own clean energy ecosystem, that's what I'm referring to, that you take it all the way from K through 12 exposure, and you go through undergraduate, graduate activities, and take them all the way to industry. And so that's what we're really trying to do, and spur this effort for HBCUs to really become more part of the clean energy transition that DOE is trying to help lead.
Well, that's great. And that's exactly what the HBCU Advocate is about. We're about putting information together. What one school is doing, they can learn from the other school, and they can partner and have that synergy. And then it's great to involve industry as well. I wanted to ask you about your first track. You said there would be 20 winners. And now,
Yes.
what would each one of those winners receive?
Oh, we have a total pot of $1 million for that track, and so up to 20 winners can receive $50,000 each to be able to host their own clean energy summer camp. And the great part about it is that it can be structured in whatever way that they would like to do it. We're not trying to dictate anything about the way that the funds are used. We just want the programs to happen, to really expose kids from these HBCU communities. That's another important feature of it, is that because these HBCUs are such a bedrock in their community, we really want them to be able to work with the local K through 12 districts, be able to advertise it, and to have them come on campus, be exposed to these clean energy concepts, while at the same time being exposed to the HBCU from a different level that they may not have been before. And so we would have up to 20 winners that would be able to receive $50,000, and we feel that that can really help to put on a really nice summer camp or summer bridge program for kids to learn about these concepts.
Right. And we know how important it is for students to have something constructive to do during the summer. And this
Absolutely.
is something that's really great. And we both know how important it is, how important HBCUs are to the community, because we both attended HBCUs, right? So I
Absolutely.
attended North Carolina A&T.
I am a Southern University Jaguar from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So that is my HBCU, and that's part of the thinking actually when this was being designed, is that I could think back from personal experience to boy, I wish I would have had something like this to be able to go to when I was kind of coming through those developmental stages, and
Mhm.
the thing is, with renewable power these days, and clean energy overall, think about electric vehicles, from design to electric vehicle chargers, and solar power, hydropower, wind power, all of the things that you see in the news today that are a big part of what we're working on with DOE to help decarbonize this country, and really accelerate the clean energy transition. There are concepts and things that if kids get exposed to them early enough, actually learn about some of the potential careers, there are potential business opportunities, for entrepreneurship. There's opportunities for technical careers, all kinds of careers, finance and business type careers, maybe to become developers of renewable energy projects later on. There's so much out there, and these are really fast growing careers, and we want kids from these HBCUs and the surrounding communities to have access to those, and to know about the opportunities that are out there in front of them.
That's so true. I have to give a shout out to someone from the Department of Energy, Dr. Tony Reams. He was part of our HBCU Futures
Yes.
Conference and talking about energy justice. So that was a great topic. And it's
Yes.
great for students to be
Yeah.
able to
Dr.
learn.
Reams is a great person.
Yeah, yeah. And he has a lot of fans. So we had a few other people talking about energy justice who participated as well. And they were so excited about being on a panel with him.
Yes, yes. We work very closely together in a lot of efforts, and he's very aware of this prize, and a lot of the work that he's doing goes hand in hand with what we're doing because as our office tries to accelerate the clean energy transition, what we're trying to do is also make sure that communities are not left behind. And so a lot of the work that Dr. Reams does kind of works with that. It falls right into the energy justice and environmental justice brands.
Yeah, that's right. So, what type of organizations can HBCUs partner with? You mentioned industry. Are there any particular types of organizations that they might want to look to? Or,
Well, yes. I mean, it's really wide open because this is part of the discussion that we want to start. We're allowing a good time frame when the partnerships track start because we want to give time for relationships to actually develop between HBCUs and participating partners, and those partners can be anyone from other academic institutions um, to clean energy trade groups. It might be utilities that are trying to expand work in clean energy. There could be non-governmental organizations. There could be nonprofits. You can imagine when it comes to doing like a summer camp. There might be guests that you bring in from partners that you haven't worked with before, maybe from either from local utility companies that are working on certain aspects of setting up solar farms, or there might be an electric vehicle person that from a local even from a local dealership that might want to explain how electric vehicles work and how EV batteries work and how charging happens. And there's so many ways that a school could partner with others and be able to improve their I guess I should say really enhance their program offerings to their current students, to the K through 12 community. And one of the key partnerships that I really hope to happen out of this is for HBCUs to continue to develop relationships with majority schools that might have more access and more programming that falls under this clean energy banner, because the more partnerships, the more conversations that we can start and continue among university and academic partners, the more we can get up to date. We can get the most up to date curriculum and program offerings as possible for our students. And the other way that the partnerships can work, if you think about it, you could even have programs set up where universities can work together to bring cohorts of HBCU students in to do research, to do summer research opportunities at other academic institutions. Or they might have an agreement set up where, once you graduate from a certain HBCU, that you might be set up to enter into a graduate program at an already established clean energy program to attain your master's or PhD program. So there's so many ways that schools could work together. And what we're really encouraging them is to be as creative as possible in working out those partnerships. And we will be there to support it.
now, I was just curious. Yeah, I was curious about a partnership with, say, PWI and an
Hmm.
HBCU.
Yes.
Would those funds go to the HBCU or would they go to the other university, or how would that work? Even with
No, that's
partners,
yes.
industry.
No. That's what we're working on. We would award our funds to the HBCU, and that's one of the important things that we wanted to make sure of, is that they control the vision, they control the partnerships, and they work together on where they decide that the funding needs to go to fund the particular efforts that they're working on.
Well, that's awesome. How about the deadlines? There are two different deadlines for each program, right? Each program has a deadline.
Yes, yes, but the track one is the only one open right now. The track
Mhm.
two doesn't open until the fall, until probably the September timeframe. But
Mhm.
our track one, we call it the Inspire Prize because it's all about inspiring kids to think about clean energy careers and to learn about them. That track opened up last Monday, May the 8th, and it will be open through I believe August 24th is the deadline date for proposals to come in for our track one, and then we hope to be able to announce those winners, and maybe we can get back together again during that time. Would be in September, and so we will we will hope to be able to announce all of the up to 20 winners at that time frame. We'll be really excited to do that because then you will be able to know that these clean energy camps will start happening in the summer of 24. And so, so we'll be really excited about that. But that's the deadline for track one. And so they've got all summer, all of our HBCUs have all summer to work on these proposals and go from there.
Well, I know there are several HBCUs that are already working in the clean energy space, and I'm really excited to see what these other schools can do, and especially partnering with K through 12.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very excited about that as well. And I think really the great part about it is that, um, we know we have a lot of our larger HBCUs, that might be that people would think, well, maybe they would be favored to receive awards like this or what have you. But the truth is that we've opened it up to all HBCUs to participate, and so there could be some really unique partnerships or consortiums of schools that get together, work together, that really try to develop common programming. And so we're really hopeful to include as many as possible. And we'll hope to be able to do this again in the future. This is something that I really wanted to do, to be able to show that we are really trying to help HBCUs expand their programs and their capabilities within this clean energy space.
Yes, and I know of some smaller HBCUs. And when there was all kinds of funding going out to HBCUs, some of these schools didn't receive any funding. So,
Right.
private funding. And
Yes.
and I know something like this would really help them with outreach, community outreach, and just people learning about what they do, and it could really improve their outlook.
Absolutely, and that's what we really want. I mean, we want as much participation as possible, and we really want schools to be creative. So, even if you're a smaller HBCU out there, I want you to understand that you definitely qualify for this, and all we're looking for is like really creative proposals. Looking at creative partnerships, and we really want to see everyone get involved.
Yeah, this is an amazing opportunity for HBCUs, amazing opportunity for K through 12, for industry, just great all around. I'm so excited to see what comes out of this. And thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, we really appreciate all the efforts of the U.S. Department of Energy.
Hey, look, it's been my pleasure, and I'm so excited to see the results of it. And like I said, we'll reach out and come back to you once we have some winners, and I'm sure we'll be excited to share that news with you in the near future.
That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it.
All
All
right.
right.
Hey, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.